you're here for the first time, like, comment, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Um, Little background. That's my daughter and her mother going over the homework. So yeah, I'm sitting up here in my living room.
In this Charlie Kirk clip, Charlie says something gross
So
about
yeah, I wanted
joy
to share
breathing.
this video with you guys.
Write your sevens first. Write your sevens first. Okay. Write your sevens first. I gotta show you this. Former President Barack Obama.
It's Adam Mocklear.
Addressed the Charlie Kirk situation.
It's Adam Mocklear on YouTube. It's another YouTube channel that I watch a lot. I'm gonna add the link to this video in the description.
An event in Pennsylvania today. Now, he of course says that political violence is never, ever okay. But President Obama also engages in the type of non-sanitization that I have been liking. He calls out the fact that Charlie Kirk said bad things about his wife, awful things about MLK Jr. and the civil rights movement, saying the Civil Rights Act should not have been passed. Obama says, listen, I can acknowledge that he said these terrible things and acknowledge that he didn't deserve to die. So he really threads the needle, as he always does. And there are multiple clips that I would like to play for you. Let's waste no time. Here's clip number 1 of President Obama in Pennsylvania.
Obviously, I didn't know Charlie Kirk. I was generally aware of some of his ideas. I think those ideas were wrong, but that doesn't negate the fact that what happened was a tragedy, and that I mourn for him and his family. He's a young man with two.
Yeah, that's not like what he just said is not like what a lot of you guys' ancestors, how y'all ancestors felt about Martin Luther King, okay? A lot of you guys would like to dig Martin Luther King up and do and assassinate him again. See what I'm saying? Like, that's called pure hate. So what what Barack's saying is we don't have nothing towards you. You know, so yeah, let's finish this, man.
Small children and a wife who obviously
Right.
a huge number of friends and supporters who
We identify with him. Oh shit, I turned it off.
and supporters who cared about him, and so we have to extend grace to people during their period of mourning and shock. We can also, at the same time, say that I disagree with the idea that the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was a mistake. That's not me politicizing the issue. It's making an observation about who are we as a country. I can say that I disagree with the suggestion that my wife or...
Let's pause that right there. Now, when he talking about his wife, right? That pause in there is very important because, you know, I love the way Barack talk. I talk similarly to him. I think about what I say before I'm gonna say it. So that's why you're gonna hear a lot of pauses in between my words too, because I'm always thinking about what I'm gonna say before I say it. So that pause that he had in there, that was very important. You know, a lot of us don't know what we'd do if somebody talk about our wives in the way that this man talked about Barack's wife. You know, he about to go into it now, and I'm about to continue playing it. But I just wanted to say this before he even say what he say. That pause in there, that was so he can really dig deep and share very important words to a very important message that he wanted to put out there. That's not gonna hurt nobody. Like this is what you call being civilized. This is what you guys, a lot of you guys saying that Charlie Kirk represented, but a lot of words came out of his mouth very, very divisive. They wasn't civilized words. This man, that pause in there is so he can think about what he about to say, you know, because we're not animals. No, none of us are. You know, we don't just say we don't do the first thing. You know, that's what animals do. Animals do first thing, they instinctively do things and instinctively. We human beings, we think about what we say, we think about what we do before we do it. We're civilized. We have to think. And so that pause that Barack had before he see, look at his face. Look at his face. That is him thinking about what he's going to say. That pause, that look is him thinking about what he's going to say before he say it. That's what the civilized do. The civilized think about what they're gonna say before they say it. They don't just blurt out the first thing on their mind. That's what people like Charleston White do. That's what people on YouTube that want a reaction. And those YouTubers usually have a large following because they say shocking all things. That's what Trump is known for. Shocking all. You know, there's no facts. It's just shocking all. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say, man. I'm about to finish playing this though.
Justice Jackson does not have adequate brain processing power.
Stopped it again.
Supporters who cared about him, and
okay, let's go back.
He was a young man with two small children. With that what happened was a tragedy, and that I mourned for him and his family. He was a young man with two small children and a wife who obviously, and a huge number of friends and supporters who cared about him. And so we have to extend grace to people during their period of mourning and shock. We can also, at the same time, say that I disagree with the idea that the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was a mistake. That's not me politicizing the issue. It's making an observation about who are we as a country. I can say that I disagree with the suggestion that my life or Justice Jackson does not have adequate brain processing power. I can say that I disagree that Martin Luther King was awful. I can disagree with some of the broader suggestions of that liberals and Democrats are promoting a conspiracy to displace whites and replace them by ushering in illegal immigrants. Those are all topics that we have to be able to discuss honestly and forthrightly. While we still insist that in that process of debate, respect other people's right to say things that we profoundly disagree with. That's how we should approach this. Now, the last one.
Okay, there's
I
another
need to
clip
go
where the
see y'all.
president addresses political violence in a head-on way, and we'll
I need to go see Barack in person, man. I love his energy. He is, man, I just love his energy, man. Good guy all the way around. I need to go sit down and be around Mr. Obama, man. President Obama, he's so dope. Like, he really him, man. Like, he ain't even trying, you know. President Trump trying. He trying so hard to be presidential, and he still can't get it right in his second term. Let's watch a little bit more Adam Mockler.
play that, but I just want to digest what he said in that previous clip, because President Obama is actually referring directly to a Charlie Kirk clip that he must
I
have
love
seen. In
Adam
this
Mockler,
Charlie Kirk
too.
clip,
Very
Charlie says
intelligent,
something
man.
gross about Joy Reid, a black woman, about Michelle Obama, another black woman, about the new Supreme Court Justice, the newest, Ketanji Brown Jackson, and says,
Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson for affirmative action fix, you would have been called a racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. We know you do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Play cut 52.
that was just said with a lot of vitriol. Like, there's a rumor that Charlie Kirk had one of his college slots stolen when he was 17 years old by a black woman. That this is a rumor that's floating around, and that is why he was bitter and why he didn't go to college, why he went this path of saying these insane things. But he's pretty directly targeting four people there. Four black women. Michelle Obama, he says Joy Reid, he says Sheila Jackson Lee, and the Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. Like, it's a very clear narrative he's trying to draw there. So I think President Obama is very fair in pointing that out on stage, especially as the first black president, so far in American history, the only black president that we've had, which kind of proves the broader point that white privilege is still alive and well. But
Let me pause that right there. Everybody is black. So every president was black. Everybody in this country black. Everybody in the world black. Everybody was originally from Africa. So that right there, you know, that's why I don't really go with neither so-called side, because I have a unique, independent thought or mind frame. And my mind frame based on facts. Everybody is originally from Africa. So everybody's black. You know, let's start right there.
either way, it's so fair for President Obama to be like, yeah, I'm not a fan of this cultural figure who is trying to say the Civil Rights Act was a mistake, that my wife doesn't have quote-unquote brain processing power. It's very fair for Obama to just say, I denounce all of that. And political violence. Let's watch this second clip of him talking about political violence.
And so when I hear not just our current president, but his aides, who have a history of calling political opponents vermin, enemies, who need to be targeted, that speaks to a broader problem that we have right now.
Mm-hmm.
And something that we're going to have to grapple with, all of us, whether we're Democrats, Republicans, Independents.
Right. We're gonna all have to deal with this
We
shit.
have to recognize that
There's some
on both
lunatics.
sides, undoubtedly there are people who are extremists and who say things that are contrary to what I believe are America's core values. But I will say that those extreme views were not in my White House. I wasn't embracing them.
Right. That's the difference. He didn't embrace none of
President
that.
Obama is making a key distinction here, and I can already see the mad comments. People are going to say, why is Obama saying both sides? He's not. He's making a broader point here. He's saying the right is the one embracing it in a top-down way from the White House, but there is extremism that exists online, floating around, where people on both sides will say crazy things.
Oh yeah.
And he draws the distinction. It's coming top-down from the White House.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't empowering them. I wasn't putting the weight of the United States government behind extremist views.
Right.
And that is when we have the weight of the United States government behind extremist views, we've got a problem.
A big problem.
And so your original question is, are we at an inflection point?
We've been at an
We're
inflection
at an inflection point in the sense that we
Mm-hmm.
always have to fight for our democracy. And we have to fight for those values that have made this country the envy of the world. And I often say democracy is not self-executing. It depends on us as citizens, regardless of our political affiliations, to stand up for certain core values, because otherwise we may not have it.
I swear.
A lot there to unpack.
Very well said. I'm glad throughout this
Yeah.
video I got to play President Obama's words that serve
I'm
as
gonna add a
narrative.
little commentary to this too, because guess what, man? The main people that's champion Trump, the MAGA and now these Charlie Kirk turning point fanatics. These are going to be the main people crying when something catastrophic happens within this country. These are going to be the main people crying. The main people talking about how, our so-called quote unquote democracy is gone. But see, it's people like myself that is gonna say, man, you know what? This needed to happen. Need to tear it all the way down to build it back up. This thing, this country been, and I disagree with Barack based on what he said. This is not our core values, and this is not what America represents. America has always represented what is showing now. That's the only thing I can kind of say that I don't necessarily like about Trump, but I respect the idea that he letting it be known that this country is ugly. Is no hiding it. So that's what I do. I love the fact that this president isn't hiding behind what previous presidents hid behind, including Obama. Including him. We can't hide behind. What's up, Damien? We can't hide behind this rhetoric that previous president been hiding behind forever. Like that day is gone. Now it's time for these presidents when they get in office to tell the truth. Tell the absolute truth, the ugly truth. And that's what I'm glad that Trump putting this out there. I'm glad that he is behaving the way that he behaving, and a lot of his followers are coming out and showing their true colors, showing their wicked, evil ways instead of smiling and trying to, down in the South, they got this whole, you know, this Bible belt, they smile in your face and say nice stuff. I'm glad these people are going online showing their ugly ways and sharing their ugly views and not smiling and trying to hide it. You know what I'm saying? Especially up in the north, up here in Michigan, there's a lot of hateful people up here. I'm glad these people aren't can you get modded? I don't even know what that means, Damien. Yeah, I'm glad these people are showing their true colors right now. That's the only, I ain't gonna even say it's a good thing, but that's the only thing that we're gonna get out of That's the only thing we got out of Trump's first presidency, and that's the only thing we're gonna get out of this one, is that we able to see how ugly our coworkers are, how ugly our neighbors are, how ugly a lot of our people that we see every day. We able to see they can't hide it. They don't want to hide that negative, that nasty, that just foul spirit that they have no more. And by it being by this spirit being coming from the top down, that's emboldening people to share their true colors. And I'm glad that this president is showing his true colors so his followers can show their true colors. You know what I'm saying? But this the thing. This political violence, and not even necessarily political violence. This is racist violence. A lot of these people want to do. They want to do racist, bigoted violence. This is classic, just like that lynching I heard that was in Mississippi. Mississippi is one of the worst. The whole South, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, all along that water down there, all along that Gulf. Nothing but wicked people. Florida, Alabama, wickedness down there. Nothing but they hate black people, boy. And that's the one thing I can say about the South too. The South, a lot of people in the South, they have shown their true colors. But this violence that I'm talking about, it's been had to stop. And y'all talk about black people being violent. White people are the most violent people towards our people ever known to man. Way more than some political violence. Who's never lived where? I lived in the South. I lived in Tennessee. My parents live in Louisiana. Been down there since 96. Yeah. Majority of my family live in the South. We originally from the South before we moved up north. If you don't know, most black people in America originate in the South. So what you talking about? Spoken like someone who's never lived there. My family was enslaved down there. Was your family enslaved in the South, Joseph? We built the South for your ancestors. And if you still down there, we built it for you. They didn't get nothing. That was on my daddy's side. On my mother's side, they from the east, the southern, North Carolina. But all the South, though, it's still all the South. Who's never lived there. My parents, I own a house in the South. I own a house in Louisiana right now. Sure do. That I pay taxes on. Joseph. Let's watch some more of this Mockley
I keep
report.
using this term, narrative disruptor. We made like 4 or 5 videos where I hop on and I go, listen, right-wingers are sanitizing the hell out of Charlie Kirk. I want to play a few clips that just kind of break up this narrative that they've been pushing relentlessly. And President Obama did it for me. I didn't even know that was going to happen. So thank you all for watching. Love you all. Peace out.
Yeah. I like Adam Mocklear, man. He dope. So yeah, man. To continue what I was saying, you know, when we talking about political violence, you know, like I don't see nobody on the so-called left like that really want to hurt nobody on the so-called right. And then if y'all want to get specific, black people, just like how they was threatening HBCUs, that's historically black universities, what was the point of that? We don't want to go to war with y'all. We only 13% of the population. Y'all got the numbers. Y'all got the numbers. We don't want to go to war with y'all. We too busy at war with each other in the so-called hood. And even outside of the hood. A lot of our people, we can't even come together to agree on too much of nothing. So we still trying to sort our business out within our community. We don't necessarily care. It'd be an outcry when the police, you know, like George Floyd, it'd be an outcry when stuff like that happened. But for the most part, we too busy fighting each other. Like, trust me, we so messed up in the head. We still trying to sort out our trauma that what came from the years of trauma that our ancestors suffered through. We inherited that trauma, and we use it, and we projecting that trauma on each other. Yeah, that's all we doing. We don't necessarily care what white people do to our people. We really don't, as y'all can see. And I don't think y'all care what we do or say to y'all either. I think y'all got some issues within y'all people too that y'all got to sort out. And that's the thing. We all trying to sort out our own issues within our own communities. And once we do that, then maybe we can start to hold hands. You know what I'm saying? But until then, we all gonna be just fighting each other, fighting within our own culture. That's what we doing. So I'm just being honest, man. We don't really care about white on black stuff. We really just only care about black on black stuff. Trust me. Just like within y'all community, it's out now. Y'all can't hide it. Y'all have to like really start dealing with the trauma that y'all inflicting on each other. Just like within our community. That's what we trying to do. We trying to, we got many years of this, at least 30, 40 years of infighting, gang violence, and all the drug war, the drugs that was, pushed from the CIA into our communities that decimated our community. We still this the aftermath of that. Trust me, we got a lot of mental illness within our community. The whole lot of it. Just like that situation with that man stabbing that lady on that train or on that bus or whatever in North Carolina. That was some mental illness. It generally don't happen with a black man hurting a white person, though. It generally don't happen because we generally don't be in close proximity to no white people to do something to them in the first place. So our trauma within our communities, basically we projecting that on each other. We trying to hurt each other the most as we can. So, and our numbers, we'll never be able to win a physical war with some white people. So we know that. We intelligent. We know not our numbers don't match up. If we 13% of the population and white people are 60 something, I don't know how many percent, whatever, the numbers just don't match. We know that. We've been knowing that. That's pretty much how we stayed enslaved for so long. Our ancestors stayed enslaved for so long. The numbers in this country so big, was nowhere to go. Our ancestors couldn't go nowhere. They didn't have the guns. Just like now, we still don't got the guns. Even if we did have the guns, we don't want to do nothing to y'all. We really we don't feel threatened by y'all in no kind of way. We actually love all people. Like, there's no way that we can feel threatened by anybody. As if we love any other race, that our love can turn any other race into us. So we're the only race that got that ability, though. So that's really what makes us unique in the sense of like we can love you, and basically we're like that bite that the vampire do. He can turn you into a vampire. That's us, but it's the exact opposite. We can make y'all one of us with love, not out of hate, not trying to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much, what we represent in the human, in this whole equation. So we're like we're the cream of the crop. We're the top. We're the top. We're the most. This melanin, we can turn any race into us. Like, we're the only race that got that ability. So we don't feel threatened with the presence of no other race. But we're the only race that every other race feel threatened by our presence alone. And this is for the same reasons. The same reasons that we don't feel threatened is the same reasons why every other race feels threatened. See what I'm saying? So, if you don't, like, you don't like us, you know what I'm saying? So that's just what that is. So, but at the end of the day, another very important ability we have is filling people out, man. This trauma that our ancestors endured, that we inherited, we have an innate ability to be able to feel out certain things and people and kind of like put our finger on the pulse of certain things. That's only if you have channeled that trauma. A lot of people in our community that have channeled trauma and understand the ins and outs and all the idiosyncrasies of what this whole thing is about and what we inherited as trauma. we able to use it as a tool to help people other than hurt people. So all the trauma that my ancestors endured, that I inherited, I'm able to help people. I'm able to meditate and pray. And like I said, my point of view is that everybody is everybody. We all us. Everybody originally from Africa. So I look at everybody as black. You know what I'm saying? Whatever words you want to put on, it don't matter. If it's white, it can be any color. It don't matter. We all started off looking the same. And we all call that black. You know, we all started off with dark melanin, to protect us from the sunlight. And that was the region that we was in. You get off into colder regions, you don't need as much melanin. That is what that is. But originally, we all was in Africa, and we was all black at one point in time. So, my personal perspective on, all of us is that, guess what? We all us. So not only do I not feel threatened by anybody, no matter how they look, I feel like everybody is everybody. I love people. I love my people, and my people is all people. That's how I see it. I don't have no reason to feel threatened by no other race of people, because I feel like it's no other race of people. We all us. Everybody originally from the same place originally. So, but yeah, that's just a little bit about what that in-depth, culture and people that I come from, and how I'm able to take the trauma and channel that to help others. You know what I'm saying? And that's just some of the stuff that a lot of our people have the ability to do. I think a lot of today's white people, I think they want that trauma. They kind of see what I'm talking about as that innate, that gift that we have. It's not being a victim. What it is being a victor. Is being able to take all of that and channel it. I think a lady said this in a video I watched. She said it's called post-traumatic growth. It's being able to come out even better than you were before. And I think that's exactly what happened. I didn't know it was a terminology for it, but I think I've always felt that. People try to hurt me, I use this tool to help me. And that's what a lot of our, black people here in this country, we have experienced. Like we excel when people try to get in our way. People trying to hurt us end up helping us. Post-traumatic growth. That's what the term. I just heard about this. Y'all look it up. Try to find it. But yeah, I just wanted to put this out there, man, because a lot of what's going on, it seemed like that white America think that we're their punching bag. When they get mad at something, they can just take it out on us. And that whole lynching in Mississippi seems to be a perfect example of that. And I don't hear nobody talking about that. That lynching. Here, if y'all in here like this video, like and comment, please. I'm trying to get this out there, man. I know my views gonna be way bigger one day, but for right now, please, if y'all in here. But yeah, this whole race, it seems to me to be like white America want to use black people as a punching bag. And I believe a lot of that comes from previous generations where it seemed like hurting us correlated with America being a great place. And, I'm just going to say this, this melanin, it scared y'all ancestors. They didn't know that they came from us. They had no idea. I wonder if the facts of what DNA is, and if it had existed when eugenics came about, and that actually everything that they were trying to say, that the white man was superior to all other people in the frontal lobe and how it was shaped, defined your intelligence. I wonder if they had definitive DNA like they do today, how those same people that came up with Planned Parenthood, eugenics, you know, trying to basically exterminate black people. I wonder if them facts about they even came from Africa was out. I wonder how that would have changed history. Sure, it feels like the opposite to me. Spoken like someone. Okay, no, that was Joseph. Jennifer, Nikki. What feels like the opposite to you, Jennifer, Nikki? Talk to me, because I don't get where you coming from. What feels like the opposite? You think black people picking on white people? Is that what you saying? Because I can clear that up for you. And if that's what you saying, I'm gonna say this much: when you are a victim, when you have inherited trauma, like definitive, like we know what happened. Like it's no way of, you know, burying it, not, not, like not being real. Like this happened, right? So when you inherit that, you able, like you're empowered. So just think of like a battered wife, right? A woman that's been beaten by her husband. When she leaves, just like how Tina Turner in the movie, if you never seen What's Love Got to Do with It, watch it. But Tina Turner was beaten by her husband. When she left him and redefined her career, she was empowered. That man ain't have no more power over her. She could speak about that, what she went through, and now he feel and look puny and small because he did that, hoping that no one else would hear about that. And that's the same thing with us. We're the voices of our ancestors who could not speak. Now we are empowered to speak. So, no, we're not trying to make no white people of today feel bad when we speak about what our ancestors endured. We're really wishing that we could go back and do some real harm to the oppressors of our ancestors. I really wish I could go back in time with some modern weapons and do the Django to every white slave owner and everybody that was beating on my people. And I wish I could rewrite history. And we could be, when I come back, like Back to the Future, when I come back, the whole world be different. The whole world. Not only do black people get their land that they was promised after slavery, we get way more. And guess what? And everybody get treated right. No weapons of mass destructions are developed. You know what I mean? We all living good. There's no global warming. We don't have to worry about, feeling like imminent, like we're going to die. Everybody's going to die. You know what I'm saying? Like we got these nuclear weapons, fear of nuclear war. I'll be wanting to, man, I'll be wishing that I could go back in time and just change everything because, you know, how I see it is that spirit that was in this country during slavery and that spirit that came post the Civil War, post Reconstruction, you know, every time black people had some type of growth, it was white backlash, right? And I believe that directly correlated with all the wars the U.S. end up getting into, developing nuclear weapons, and even today with Trump. I believe it's all connected because guess what? This country has never want to atone for the ills that happen with our people in this country. Every race has gone through slavery. Yeah, y'all always say that. Yeah, we had our pressures. Yeah, okay. You can't ride that pony forever. Guess what? Let me tell you this. Was your people ever put on a breeded? Was y'all ever breeded? Have your people been bred like dogs? Like horses? I guarantee you. And that slavery that y'all keep talking about, when blacks enslaved you Europeans in Spain, Africa and Europe is right next to each other. If y'all didn't know, it's very close. And during the 7th century, African Moors went to Europe and enslaved Europeans because Europeans were very weak and they had lost their way. They didn't know that they didn't know nothing about the Roman and the Greek times no more. It was called the Dark Ages. So Africans gave Europeans culture during the time that they ruled over them. They brought them back. They showed them how to clean themselves right. Oh, I'm not denying that black people, I mean, that slavery, that people wasn't, everybody wasn't enslaved. Yeah, I'm not denying that. But this form was very brutal and unique. And it was for the foundation of a brand new country that said it was about freedom, but wasn't about freedom. So this country was based on using slaves from Africa primarily, and at first they had white slaves over here. That's true. But guess what? We started coming together. And this government said, you know what? Let's not make white people slaves no more. And then we're gonna tell them that it's a certain time limit on how long they could be slaves. And then we can actually deputize them and so they can go against the black slaves. Yeah, so think about that. Think about that. We bought them from your people. Yeah, y'all bought them from our people. Y'all went over there with alcohol, drugs, went over there and pretty much tricked them people. But yeah, I mean, tribal slavery, like that's been going on from the beginning of time. That's nothing new. Slavery was invented in Africa. Yeah, they definitely invented. But these Dutch and English and all these different countries in Europe, they refined it. And this form of slavery was unique. It was unique to create an industry. It was unique to creating a brand new thing. But see, this is the crazy part. Had your people not ever documented this stuff, and had they not like been so brash to create laws around, the, continued depravity of black people here, we would probably never even be talking. We wouldn't even know even know none of this stuff to even talking about it. So it was the laws that was created that make this why we still talk about this today. Because we didn't make them laws. Your people made them laws. See what I'm saying? So that's kind of like how we still can speak about this and speak on it with power. Yeah, real laws against, this melanin. And so we're not like the Jewish people. We can't change our last name and become American. We can't change this. This is God-given. This is all from God. This is the best stuff in the world. Melanin. It's inverted sunshine. That's all it is. We shine from the inside out. Yeah, this communicate with the sun. That's all this is. This shining. That's all you see. And if you're white, that's inverted darkness. That's from not being in the sun. That's darkness. Think about that. So you're dark in the inside. And that's why you so white. Damn, you know shit. Why are you old folks the only ones that admit the truth? Oh, what I say when I said slavery was invented in Africa? Leave your block idolatry, church, cuz. Leave your block idolatry. African culture in Europe. Come on, man. Bro, yeah, look it up, man. If you don't know, let me see. In this image. In this image. Yeah, African culture in Europe, bro. It's real. Yeah, trust me. Y'all didn't know nothing about culture for hundreds of years. Y'all was dark. Yeah, African, Arabic, Muslim, black Moors went over there and gave your people culture. And you know what your people did? That same year that they got them up out of there finally, It was called the Battle of Granada. It was in Spain. The same year, 1472. It was the same year. That was the year Granada was pushed out of, that was the year the Moors was pushed out of Spain. That same year, this country, this part of the world was developed with Christopher Columbus. That same year. Oh, you said block. Okay. Black idolatry. Yeah, no, we all black. Everybody black. It ain't no idolatry. It's in your DNA. If you wouldn't be no you without us. It's not no idolatry. It's just science, and it just is what it is. We're the most dominant. Like, if we wasn't the most dominant, if we didn't mix with any other races and everybody be black after we mix with them, like, that's a fact, right? It wouldn't be a problem. See, we're the only race of people that we can mix with anybody. That's why we don't have problem with no races when they move around us. We don't want to push them out. Nowadays, a lot of people tripping about the gentrification, but I love what they think of as gentrification. I love what they think of as gentrification. That's just improving an area, making it look nicer. I can afford to live anywhere I want to live. And anybody that look like me can. If they put their mind to it, most of us can. Like, there's nothing keeping black people from living anywhere they want to live. The cradle was Iraq. Bro. Iraq, the people that live in Iraq are not even a real race. So I don't even know what you're talking about. No, it's Africa, man. Look it up, bro. Black people, dark people look like me. That's the cradle. What you talking about is the Bible. That's what they put in the Bible. The Bible came before people understood DNA. So I'm talking about DNA right now. I'm talking about science. This is just the fact, man. And before human beings, we were other forms of mammals. I don't know if a lot of y'all might not understand what evolution is, but they can prove evolution. It just is what it is. But a lot of people in this generation and generations previously think something's wrong with you if you got facts about DNA. All DNA does is you could just go back. Like, if y'all heard of 23andMe, like, all this just DNA, man. It's in you. Like, we are living proof that we are connected to each other in some form or fashion. I know that's what a lot of this backlash is in its image. A lot of y'all know these facts. That's what a lot of this backlash is from. A lot of people in this current generation are mad that, damn, why y'all gotta be the generation that they find out that DNA, we all came from Africa originally. I think a lot of this online backlash is because when I say what I say to most people, because I say this to people in their face, I say everybody black. When I'm at work and my coworker starts speaking about, yeah, I got a black friend, and then I say everybody black. Anytime I'm around white people and they bring up race, I say everybody black. You black too. I say that, and then most of the time they say, yeah, I know. But online, y'all try to go back and forth about it. But if I was in your face, you would say, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I was created by God. We was created by God first. Listen, I'm going to tell you like this. Monkeys, we all evolved from them type of creatures. Yeah. Now we're bipedal. They were like four-legged. We learned how to walk. You evolved from us, bro. And we're God to you. We're God to you. The monkeys are God to us. Nothing bad about a monkey. They're God to us. Without the monkeys and apes, we wouldn't exist. So, nah, bro. I wouldn't even let you do none of that. Guess what I'll do? Gotta ask you to cover. And just walk away from you. I'll just pray for you, bro. I don't do none of that confrontation. What I practice is momentum. I get out the way and let your momentum carry you over a cliff. Meaning the universe gonna take care of you. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna most likely do something to yourself. That's what you gonna do, messing with me. I don't do no back and forth with people. I just pray for them and go about my business. You know what I'm saying? Something else gonna happen to you. You know what I'm saying? I don't do no back and forth. You talking to the right one, bro. Hepatitis, who cares? Well, you can just get on up. I care. I'm gonna pray for you too. A lot of y'all so hateful. Y'all hate this melanin, don't you? Y'all hated Barack when he got in. Y'all just hated his black face. That man so eloquent and so nice. We could just see that. This what I love. When I go to work, I'm around hateful, racist white people. I just show up and just look at them. I'll be praying for them the whole time. Not you're talking to Ennis. You please, you bait, then play godly. Bro, what y'all think God is? Y'all think God is just all good? Because I guarantee you, man, how this world was created, it was nothing but violence. This world was created violently. Y'all think God is just all good? That's a lie. God hurts. God, yeah, stuff bad happened. God created a lot of storms for people. It's what you get out of it, though, right? So I ain't playing godly. God, man, God is pain. You understand? Yeah, we all gonna die, and most likely gonna all die with pain. And guess what? That's when we're gonna get closer to God. Yeah, see, this is the thing. Pain is involved in what you think of as good, or what's good. Pain is involved in what's good. Pain is involved in what's good. A lot of what the problem with man is, it feels good. Man, it's always about trying to make something feel good. That's the bad stuff. The bad stuff is the stuff that make you feel good. Drugs, how you feel when you're on drugs, when you're high. You aren't worthy of my time. You know nothing about God. You looking at God. You talking to God right now and don't even know it. Jesus wouldn't say that, and he's not of that. He's not of that. Like pray for him though. Nobody lost cause. Nobody lost cause. Nobody, man. But yeah, I just wanted to share if y'all on there, go back to the beginning and get that clip that I shared with Obama on there, talking with Adam Mocklear. I really, really I'm gonna add Adam Mocklear's video to my description. Y'all go back there, watch that in full. And yeah, just stay tapped in, stay aware. He got the head of a Minecraft character. Oh, he do? That's his that's his let me see. I didn't even see his face. Oh, he a Minecraft character. Yeah, I am God, bro. I'm God. You are too. All of us together represent God. Together, we are the God with everything in our universe. With the water, with the air, with the trees, with every living being. All together, we all represent God as one. All of us together represent the God. But we all are versions of God. God made us all. Every one of us. We are a manifestation of God. Every one of us. But if you want to be, I want to be technical. Because we're the first in that line of human beings. So without black people, there would be no white people. So meaning y'all black too. Asians too. Yeah. So we're the closest thing to God, to white people, and to Asians too. The Asians tried to debunk this DNA evolution thing, and then when they did their own research, they can't have to come back and say, yeah, the DNA is right. Everybody's from Africa. So, I think really a lot of people online tripping about it, but I think in person, most people would say, yeah, you know what? I know. Yeah, because we all had to come from somewhere. And a black person can't come from no other race of people, right? Like anytime we reproduce with each other, it's going to be a black person. So that's just a fact. So you kind of know, like, damn, they genes are dominant. Yeah, like it is what it is. God made us first. Without God creating black first, there would be no other race of people. So it is what it is. But it don't really mean we're superior. But what it does mean, it's like we're the father. You don't disrespect your parent, man. And that's where a lot of people, I think, inherently, I think a lot of people just want to disappoint us. Just like a lot of children want to disappoint their parents. That's just what that is. But yeah, I gotta go, man. I got a little shit to do. I'm gone.